Hey guys, you can't see me that well, but I am going to teach you how to open a door.
All right, that was George Maycruck, age 7, in his video debut, teaching us how to open a door. Today I'm going to talk about vintage doors and how special they make our vintage homes. These doors are solid and meant to last a lifetime. The hardware is incredibly beautiful and also meant to last. Let's dive right in. All of the doors at 926 Columbian have been painted, including the hardware. My dream is to restore them back to their original finish from 1927. Including stripping all of the hinges and door hardware. This will bring the house back to its original character the way it was in 1927. Take a minute to talk about why these doors are so incredible. Throughout this house, all of the doors are identical and the hardware is also identical. Things that drive me crazy when people paint these doors is that the hardware also gets painted, and you can see the lock down here got painted. The mortise lock that's inside the door got painted. It absolutely drives me nuts that they paint the hinges. So I prefer if the door goes back to its original and all the paint is stripped off and the paint is stripped off of the hardware. The thing that's great about these doors is they are, I don't know if you can tell the thickness there. That is a good 2-inch thick door, and this door is made of solid wood. And since Lyle has been stripping them, we now know that it's a birch door. So the quality of this door is far superior to doors that are in modern homes today. We were so lucky that we had at least one door left unpainted so we could see what the color should be, and we could also see that the variety of wood is birch. We were also lucky to be able to find Lyle Zimbler, a super carpenter and craftsman who will help us to restore these beautiful doors.
We're at Laura's house attacking this door. Both sides are painted, so the process is using a heat gun to get the layers off. Fortunately, this is only one layer, so it's coming off easy. The other side, I don't envision it to be as easy. It's going to have multiple layers.
Right.
Once the paint is off, then we sand it and till it's prime, and then we stain it, and then see how pretty it becomes with finish coats. But each step of the way, it gets better and better.
All right, we'll check back.
Thanks.
Here is the finished product. You can see it's absolutely beautiful, completely restored. This is a pine door. Still need to find the appropriate door knocker for this door, but you can also see the hardware is all stripped. The hinges are stripped. So the door is back in its original condition. I have to tell one short story. Lyle, the gentleman who is restoring our doors, took 3 of our doors back to his workshop in Indiana, and unfortunately he experienced a fire at his workshop, and these doors didn't get burned, luckily, but they did experience some water damage, and also the mirrors, the original mirrors, were ruined. So we had to take the doors to Talo Glass to get new mirrors put on, and luckily the doors were able to get dried out, and they mostly are back in original condition, but a little bit of water damage for sure on some of these doors. But just a little story to add to the history. One other detail about these doors I wanted to talk about, as George Maycruck has mentioned. Let's teach you how to open a door. This is the front door of the house, and you can see it's got these 2 buttons here on it, and each of these buttons does something different. When this top button is pushed, the door can be opened. If we push this button in, the lower button, and we try and open the door, it locks. So If you are going to leave your house and you have the wrong button pushed, you might get locked out of your house. Just a cool feature of the mortise lock that we often see on a front door. All right, I hope you've learned a lot about these old doors and how much character they add to these old houses. I'm so excited to have all of the doors throughout the house completely stripped and refinished, as well as the hardware, to get back to our 1927 original home. All right, stay tuned for the next episode. See you then.